Hello, my name is Kate Bunker and I'm the Director of Learning for the Australian Library and Information Association.
And my name is Jackie Lucas. I'm Learning Services Coordinator for ALIA, and together Kate and I make up the ALIA Learning Team. We're recording this video on Ngunnawal and Ngambri lands, and we'd like to start by paying our respects to elders, past, present and emerging. Kate and I are both librarians. My background is largely in schools as a teacher librarian, and Kate's experience lies in academic libraries. We really want to support our ALIA members at all career stages to feel motivated about engaging in ongoing learning and to support a sense of confidence about getting more involved with the sector, to help you make connections and to continue to grow professionally and in a way that is structured and authentic.
And today we're going to be talking about the ALIA PD scheme and answering the question, how does it work? The ALIA PD scheme has been running since 2000, providing ALIA professional members with a framework to log and reflect on continuing professional development. You do need to be a professional member of ALIA to be in the PD scheme. That means either associate, library technician or allied field. If you don't hold a qualification for professional membership and are a general member of ALIA, then you can sign up to the ALIA Proficiency Recognition Program. From the 1st of July 2020, the PD scheme is opt-out rather than opt-in, as we acknowledge the importance of lifelong learning for our profession. We value our qualifications and work experience. However, in the library world, continued professional development is an absolute necessity, and we're here to make it easier for you.
Doing PD is sometimes the easy part. The part that most people seem to struggle with is being disciplined around documenting PD, keeping an accurate record that you can build on over the years. And this is where the ALIA PD scheme can come to the rescue.
Another issue is acknowledgement of your PD. It's very often something that we take on above and beyond our normal workplace duties. Commitment to professional growth is a disposition that is very valuable to our industry, and the ALIA PD scheme provides a formal acknowledgement of your extra efforts that in a competitive field can give you a leading edge.
So let's talk about how the PD scheme works. A common misunderstanding that often occurs is that the PD scheme is a course, something that you sign up to and then content is provided for you to work through, but that's not the case.
No, the ALIA PD scheme is a framework. It's a place for you to keep track of all the PD you do and to create a narrative of learning reflections. There are minimum compliance requirements to ensure that the framework is meaningful and authentic and upholds professional standards, but it's up to you to make it work.
Think of it like building a PD house. We provide you with the tools that you require and we give you a design and a framework, but it's up to you to take up those tools and that plan and do the building and creating.
And the minimum guidelines are set to make sure you keep up to date as a professional. So when you sign up for the ALIA PD scheme, you are given two goals.
The first goal is to achieve certified professional status, and you do this by participating in and then logging and reflecting on a minimum of 30 hours of PD across a 12-month period. And to acknowledge this achievement as evidence of the commitment that you've made to your ongoing professional development, you are then eligible to use the special post nominals that are there on the screen. We also encourage you to use this tile in your email signature, your LinkedIn profile, and so on.
The second and ongoing goal that you get in the ALIA PD scheme is to apply for certified professional certificates, which you achieve after successfully completing 3 years in the scheme. In that time frame, we ask you to log and reflect on a minimum of 120 hours with no less than a minimum of 30 hours in a given year. We call the 3-year periods trienniums, and there is no limit to the number of trienniums you can complete. After 5 years in the scheme, and 200 hours minimum PD, you can apply for Distinguished Certified Professional status, which also includes a certificate and listing on the ALIA website.
So as you build your PD house using the PD scheme framework, what you then have is a body of evidence that you can draw on to continue to grow professionally. And it's a body of evidence that acknowledges that you are committed to your PD, and it's also a reliable artifact of your commitment to your professional development. It can be drawn upon when you're job seeking, and it also provides evidence in workplace reviews. The post-nominals and certificates are not something that we hand out without ensuring that expectations have been met, and there's something that we hope that you'd be really proud of achieving, and we hope that our members celebrate.
So just to reinforce the compliance requirements within the framework of the scheme, we use a simple point system: 30 PD points minimum per PD year, 120 PD points over each triennium or 3 years, 200 PD points over 5 years, and remember, 1 point equals 1 hour. To validate your PD points, a minimum 50-word reflection is required for each learning activity, and we have a separate video on learning reflections that you can view.
We're often asked how many points you can claim for a particular activity, and the answer is that we don't put a cap on hours. It's up to our members to log how many hours you spent on the activity. If whatever many hours you spent actively learning is the number of points you can claim. We really want to acknowledge the efforts that members put into their personal and professional growth.
And the PD year runs from 1st of July to 30th of June. It's like a financial year, and you can join at any time and then backdate your activities to the 1st of July.
We mentioned PD tools earlier, and the main tool associated with the PD scheme is called My PD Tracking Tool. You can use any platform you like to record your PD. You might prefer to use a Word document, a spreadsheet, you might have a workplace system. However, we highly recommend using the My PD Tracking Tool because it's a platform that can travel with you when you move jobs, and it keeps a tidy record over time that is directly linked to your ALIA PD scheme framework and goals. You can find the tracking tool in the members section of the ALIA website under the resources tab.
And some of the other resources that we provide for our members include skills audits, our e-newsletters, ALIA Weekly and PD postings, ALIA's Career Development Kit. And we also have a document called 100+ Ideas for Your PD that we talk about in another video. And there are also ALIA training courses and ALIA conferences and events that as an ALIA member you can access at a discounted price. All of these resources can be accessed and used for PD points. The library and information sector is very broad, and the ALIA PD scheme has been designed to be inclusive of everyone. However, there is sometimes a need for our PD to be more specialised and nuanced. And so for that reason, we have created 10 specialisations listed here, and we talk about these in a separate video.
So that is how the ALIA PD scheme works. If you're not in the PD scheme, we hope you don't think too long before getting involved and making the most of your PD.
And if you are already an ALIA PD scheme member, we hope that we've helped to build your understanding of the scheme. So thank you.
Thank you.